your sibling because you need to lead your members, but also get to have fun and be friends with your members. Yeah.
Those are all really good analogies.
To being like a bee, you have, yeah, king or queen of the hive. Like water because it's essential to life, still dependent on others for different purposes. Like the roots of a tree because it keeps it up. A parent because you guide your members and teach them. These are really good.
That's awesome. You guys are really creative. All right.
Like a rolly book bag. Not exactly carrying the club, but leading the others.
Wow.
A talk show host, you guide the members slash audience in the conversation and guides members on the path of service. This is good.
All very creative.
A principal of a school because it's very rewarding and you lead the school.
You guys are so, like, you're geniuses. Wow.
We struggled so much coming with me.
Dude, we said Queen Elizabeth. Okay, well, you guys did amazing with the icebreaker. It really showed us how your club operates in a way because um, every club has a different way of operating as a president. Um, and you guys have a very well understanding of what presidents do, but we're hoping that this workshop will help you out a little bit on what duties you have. For presentation guidelines, make sure to keep yourself muted unless you're answering a question posed by one of us. So example like the icebreaker. If you have a question or comment to our presentation, maybe something you want to share with the rest of the members that are here today, or something that you think that others should know about, just send a message in the chat and the hosts will definitely try to answer it or comment on it. Also, please be respectful. I mean, this is just common courtesy to not only the presenters, but everyone in the workshop.
So we're going to start off by saying what is a president. So as the club president, you are the backbone of your club. You are the head of your club. You represent your club in all different ways, and you also support it. So to be the backbone of your club, obviously you have to be organized because there's going to be a lot of stuff that you have to deal with this year. So you need to make sure that you have all of your information in one place. You have a Google Drive that's organized, an email that's organized, so that you're able to do your job well. And you need to be responsible. You need to, like I said, you're the head of your club. You're representing your club. You not only represent yourself, you represent Key Club, you represent your high school. So you need to be responsible. And you must be good at delegating and working with other people. Just because you're the president doesn't mean that you have to do everything by yourself. That's one thing that I know a lot of people struggle with when they first become president. Don't be afraid to reach out to your other officers and ask them for help. And then you should also know what's going on in your club. You should know what events you have. I don't know. Some of you might have a club website. Make sure you're up to date on what's on the website, any information from your LTG, etc. And plan events with your board. You don't want to just do like one thing because you're the president and not collaborate on other things that other people might have to do. You really want to be well-rounded within the whole club and know what's going on overall.
Okay. So as president, you are the face of the club and you're responsible for a variety of things. And some of the responsibilities here include attending all club meetings, being present at all executive meetings, creating agenda for all meetings, leading and advising the executive board, attending to DCMs, which are hosted by your LTG, going to decon, going to fall rally, going to one RTC, and that's why you guys are all here. And also attending officer training conferences, filling out the club rosters that will be sent through your email, completing or initiating 2 projects a month average, contacting your LTG once a month at least. And also, if you go above and beyond, you can go, if you want to go above and beyond, then you can attend your Kiwanis club meetings. Those are the clubs that sponsor your Key Club. And yeah, so some of the things additionally on top of like all of these responsibilities include like filling out the annual achievement report form, which is the AARP, and that's basically a recap of everything you've done throughout the year within your club. So by doing all these responsibilities, you can have some things to write down on that AARP.
So we also have annual duties, but really quick, we have a question in the chat. So for any other ideas for going above and beyond, definitely you can look at the district project guide to see if you can start planning different service projects related to the new district project, which is keeping the Garden State green. That would definitely be going above and beyond. And honestly, right now we are in a pandemic, so anything your club can do in terms of service to your homeschool community is going above and beyond right now. So do as much as you can. Considering the circumstances, if you can't do as much as you can if you were at school, we completely understand. Some clubs are still struggling with elections and things like that. So currently as president, even though your term has started off in a rough situation, I would just suggest planning service projects and meeting with your board frequently over the summer to start planning out the service year. So when the club can meet up, hopefully next year when school does resume, you can start right away with different service projects and things like that. And definitely keep up to date with your lieutenant governor. So if there's any digital service projects you can be doing, that would be great. So honestly, overall, just do the most you can with the project. You can also contact your lieutenant governor and they can give you a plethora of ideas. For annual duties, make sure you increase membership and involvement. That's something that goes hand in hand with that question. Get your members involved. It's a great way for them to learn about Key Club and become a future officer or district executive or international trustee. It's limitless. So you can definitely utilize them because Key Clubbers are the most important aspect of our organization, the general members, and their service is what makes us awesome. Also, as Caitlin said, fill out the annual achievement report form with your advisor and secretary. Basically, it's an end of the year form and you fill it out definitely before district convention so you count for the contests. And through that, we get to see how your club has been doing throughout the year. And it seems a little tedious, but as long as you fill out the club monthly report forms or your secretary fills it out and you keep on top of that, you'll have the report forms for every single month, so you can just compile those. Continuously motivate your club to serve. You as presidents, everyone looks up to you. You may not know it or you do, but the freshman general members, they definitely see you and go, that's who I want to be. You guys have a very big voice in your Key Club and your community and use that to motivate others. Fundraise for one major service event. Definitely you can begin planning now as school is kind of out of session, to be honest. So you can definitely meet up with your board and see what you can do in the coming school year to make an impact on your community. So many things are going on, current events, and our district project is environment. There's never a better chance to serve than right now, and you can definitely utilize you as president and your Key Club to make an impact. So does anyone have any other suggestions for what should be an annual duty of a president or anything from your own experience so far? You can type it in the chat. Or you can speak up. You can unmute yourself. We'll give it a minute.
And then if anybody has any questions, just try to write them down and then we'll ask at the end and then we'll try to give you the best answer as possible.
I like the making the members happy. Definitely. That's a year-round thing. All right, as if there's any more answers, I guess we can also go on to the next. You can continue typing if anyone is.
Yeah, before we go on real quick, I just wanted to say that I know some of you are like taking notes and maybe you're struggling to keep up. So this meeting is being recorded. So later on, you can find this, this recording on the New Jersey Key Club YouTube channel. So yeah, you don't have to like scramble to catch everything that we say. You can find this video later on.
And then one quick question that I saw is how can you keep members active in your club? There is a member enthusiasm meeting later on today if you wanted to go to that, and they'll have a lot of information on how to keep members in the club and how to keep them active. All right, so some monthly duties. Or wait, is Caitlin this you? Caitlin, is this yours? I'm sorry.
That's you, Craig.
Okay.
I can speak.
So the monthly duties. So you want to hold executive board meetings so that you can keep in contact with your officers and make sure that you're all on the same page on what you're doing with your club and what you want to accomplish for the month. You want to make sure that as president, you're making the agendas for the meeting and leading the meeting so that the agenda or meeting has like a clear goal, and that you want to be delegating tasks. Like I said, you don't want to have everything on your plate, and also address any concerns that your officers might have. So you also want to collaborate with board members and committees. Some clubs have committees, some clubs don't. But if your clubs have committees, make sure you're communicating with them and making sure that they're keeping up with their tasks and creating events for your club. Also ensure that your officers are completing their tasks, whether you delegate it to them or it's one of their outline tasks, like being a treasurer, making sure that they're fundraising and counting money and collecting dues. And then you just want to address the needs of your members. So if anybody has any questions, like within your club, you want to make sure that you can answer those questions and that you're always communicating with them. And then the question is, what are some other monthly duties? You can also think that you guys were elected as president for a reason. So overall, it's what you want to accomplish with like these. We're telling you what you should be doing, but you can also accomplish things that you want to accomplish for your own club. Each club is different and you might have ideas that you want to incorporate into your club. So it's also good to think about what do you want to accomplish for your club. So, yeah.
All right, so we'll move on. If you guys have any other suggestions on what monthly duties are, can continue typing in the chat. So obviously, even though you don't have club meetings, you should still be able to stay active outside of club meetings, and you have weekly duties. So you'll be presiding over general meetings, and it's important to maintain communication with your officers, advisors, and your lieutenant governors. And during those times when you don't have club meetings, there will be members that maybe won't want to participate or maybe just haven't been showing up at club meetings. So
frozen. Okay.
Reach them out in a. Oh.
Can you all hear me? I'm sorry for technical difficulties. There's also fire trucks going across my neighborhood right now. So.
Sorry, did I like lose connection?
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're back. I think you're back.
Back. Where did you guys like?
I think we're at advisor, like communication with your advisor.
Oh, okay. So maintaining communication.
Yeah.
Okay. So as I was saying before, maintaining communication with your officers, advisors, and lieutenant governors are really important. So be sure to check your emails. If you haven't been using email before, it's important to start sending out emails or just getting contact information from all your officers, your fellow officers. So reaching out to inactive general members are also important too, because even if you're not having a club meeting, there are going to be people who maybe won't want to stay. There will be people who won't want to participate or just haven't been updated. So make sure that you reach out to them, whether it's through socials, apps like Remind, and emailing. It's important to retain your members all throughout the year. So those are some of the weekly duties. Also make sure to contact service partners for upcoming events and maintain a good relationship with them because you'll be working with them in the future. And if you initiate a large event, you can have your general members all attend, and it's important because um, if you show that you're bringing a lot of people together in your community, and it shows that you're being an effective leader because you're able to lead people and you're able to bring people together in order to do good in your home, school, and community. So, do you have any other weekly duties that you think you may have as president? You can just type that in the chat. But for now, we'll move on.
Okay, for daily duties, also for Abby, definitely for service partners, you can reach out to your lieutenant governor. Hopefully we'll have some time at the end of the meeting to answer any questions. But you can also join a workshop later on today, the Advocacy Major Emphasis and Service Partners Workshop, which will discuss a lot of things about getting service partners and things like that. So for daily duties, definitely respond to any questions that members have about your club, and you should be the one where you have all the answers if someone approaches you, asks you, what is Key Club? What can I do? Always check in with your board members. Check your email for important information, definitely from your lieutenant governor. And understand that your club should, again, understand what Key Club does and why you should join. You should have those questions and answers ready in the back of your mind, and you are the person that everyone goes to and looks up to. So definitely as a daily duty, consistently make sure that you're on top of your Key Club responsibilities. If you have any other daily duty suggestions, you can also put it in the chat.
All right, so here are just some tips. So evaluate your job as a president and give constructive criticism to your officers, give them about your events, give them to yourself as well. Just want to reflect on the job that you're doing, what you can do better, what you can improve on, and what you should do for your club. And then also maintain constant communication. It's better to over communicate than under communicate. You want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. You want to make sure that you know what's going on within your club, but also you want to maintain a balance so that you don't over contact. Like, it's important to over communicate, but don't over communicate. You don't want to stress people out and make them not want to participate. And especially for your officers, you want to make sure that they don't feel overwhelmed. And then make sure you delegate your tasks. You don't want to have too much on your plate. Do not procrastinate. Get everything done as soon as possible. Be professional at all times. Remember, you're representing your club. Be open to new ideas, whether it's from your officers or your general members, and try to stay motivated.
Okay, so throughout your term, it's not going to be perfect, and you're going to be encountering certain difficulties and challenges, but it's important to just try to stay as motivated as possible. So one of the common issues is that you have difficulties communicating and working with your advisor. So here's some, you can take a picture of this or you can just watch this later, but here are some tips. So when you talk with your advisor, you always make sure that you're polite and respectful. When you ask them, don't just be don't just be super upfront about it. You can be straightforward, but just make sure that you're polite about it. And always try your best to contact them and sort out issues. Even though we're not able to meet with advisors in school right now, it's important to just message them through email. And especially since communication is all online now, make sure that there's no miscommunication or misunderstandings. And you can also ask if there's anything you can do to make their job easier. You can contact your LTGs if you need any help. We're all here for you. And just try to be understanding. They're teachers at your school, so they're busy. They have a lot on their schedule, so just make sure that you notify them if you ever need anything. So member retention is also really important. One of my favorite things to do at the beginning of the year is to host a freshman survival guide, which is it's really good for introducing what Key Club is at like around the first like week of school and while they're getting adjusted. So they can, if you have this freshman survival guide at the beginning of the year, most freshman people will want to join Key Club. And I would say also as president, just learn as much as possible about your position and about Key Club so that you'll be prepared to answer any questions like, what is Key Club? What do you do in Key Club? Why should I join? And some other things that you can retain your members is by doing membership highlights, just recognizing them for being active members in your club and for going above and beyond. You can create committees. You can contact them through all socials, give them information, ask them to check out the New Jersey Key Club website. Sarah or Craig, could you do the last one? I can't really see it on my screen.
Yeah, so what to do when a member of the board is not completing their duties. So you want to make sure that you're reaching out to the person and make sure that they're okay, just in case there's another issue, maybe they have a medical issue or they're stressed out. And then establish communication and emphasize that them not doing their job is hurting others within the club. And try to see if there's anything that you can do to help them and make sure that they know they have your support and help if they need it, but they have to get their work done. And just try to be calm in communicating them and friendly and not to over stress them and make sure that they're getting their work done.
Yeah, and as I've briefly mentioned earlier, just make sure that you know the ins and outs of your club so that you can identify any weaknesses, any flaws, and then you can work to improve those flaws and just improve your club.
Okay, so you guys can take a screenshot or take a picture of our contact info so you can ask any questions that you didn't get to get answered. It's probably going to end in a few seconds, but thank you everyone for joining.